Okay, the first attempt at finding the problem with the RV. So I've turned the ignition on to locate the fuel pump, which I've now found, which is sat under here. Fuel tank's there. So just to orientate yourselves. So basically the back wheels and engine are right at the back. This is about centre of the RV, or a little bit forward of centre. So here, I found the fuel pump here. Now somebody has put a aftermarket fuel filter on here, which is great, because that's something I would have had to have done. So process of elimination, my first and easiest thing to do is make sure that I have got a clear pipe from the fuel tank into the pump. On the end of this pipe, which sits inside the fuel tank, is basically a gauze filter, 200 micron gauze filter. So that's its first stage filtration before it goes into the fuel pump. So what I've got to do is take this pipe off here, once I've switched ignition off, and put compressed air down this pipe, in the hope that if there is any blockage there, it's going to push it out and back into the fuel tank. Now it may actually pop the pre-filter off, the gauze filter, at the other end within the fuel tank. If that's the case, then c'est la vie, it doesn't really matter, because we have the pre-filter installed here. So that is the fuel is getting filtered here before it goes into the pump. So to that end, I'm not even taking it off there. I'm going to be taking it off there, which will give us the push back into the fuel tank. So undo that, blow the air back. That'll be the first thing. Make sure that pipe's clear. If it is, it could potentially be the pump, which it looks like the original. We've got to bear in mind the engines, or the RV has only done 40,000 miles, so it's not a high miler. But again, like all things, just purely by age rather than mileage, this thing could have degraded. It might be pulling enough fuel through for it to idle, but not pumping enough through under load. So that's the first thing. Blow that back, try it, and then I have ordered a new one of these from Rock Auto. That'll be here next Wednesday, I think, so I'll be able to replace that. So that'll be the second thing to do in the process of elimination and hopefully identifying this problem. Okay, dilly. Right, I'm in the back of the engine. Well, in the engine, if you think, in the back of the RV. There's loads of fuel sitting in the bottom of the gully down here. I don't know if you can see, but there's literally loads in there, sat in the bottom. And when I've moved this fuel filter out the way, I have actually seen drips coming from the fuel filter, which Paul did see some drips. There you go, there was just a drip there from somewhere. Paul said he seen a drip when he had a look at it, and he thought he was mistaken. There you go, another drip, but he wasn't mistaken. So it is leaking from somewhere, possibly the bottom of this. So I'm going to take this whole thing out, clean it all up, clean all that diesel out the bottom, tighten everything up, new O-rings on anything that might need them, and that'll be that. I don't know if this is the actual problem, I very much doubt, but saying that, it will be getting air into the system, possibly. So that could be a simple fix. Who knows? Dilly. So another item I need to order is this oil pressure switch, which I've found, which is that there. So that just needs unbolting from the side of that the doofer there, if you like. And I'll be able to get the part number to make sure I get the right one. And then so I'll take that off as well, clean it up, put the part number on a photograph, and then put it back on for now. Otherwise, oil will seep out. Okay, so back to this. Let's see, I've just got to now get this cleaned up. Take that that pipe off and stuff. Right, dilly. Right, so I've got the Baron Von filter housing off. It's leaking from somewhere, so I'll disconnect it fully. Take it into the garage, give it a good clean up, replace all the O-rings, and then that's it, ready to put back together. Now that's got electrics going into this. Don't know why. Possibly one's for water traps, or the water trap on the bottom here, so that might tell you if there's any water in the diesel by a light on the dash, possibly. Yeah, who knows. Anyway, I've got my bit of rag in there, so that's starting to soak some of the diesel up. But there's loads in there. Like, it's a fire hazard as well, more than anything. But we'll see. I'll get all that cleaned out, and then I'm going to give it a steam clean the engine as well, so I can see what I'm looking at. Right, that's that. Seeing a bit folks, dilly. Oh, right, guys. Happy days. Again, don't know whether it is going to be the problem, but all these little bits and bobs are certainly contenders. Right, if you look in here and you see that come out the fuel filter. Look in the bottom of the fuel filter housing, it's absolutely minging. It's literally just put a new filter on it, and that's as the filter comes. It's all fixed like that, so that's your new filter. So he's literally just took the old one out and put the new one in. And what he hasn't done was clean the actual filter housing out itself. So in the bottom of there is just a load of crud, so that all needs cleaning out. As I say, don't know whether that is going to be the actual cause of the problem, because it is on the outside, fair enough. It's the inside tube there where the filtered diesel will go, but I certainly don't think it can be helping matters. So I'll give that a good clean out, and again, as I say, take it from there. Because unscrew this bottom bit off as well, because I'm sure that's where it's leaking from. Right, dilly. Okay, so I've cleaned up all the fuel filter. So all there is to do now is get the rest of this diesel out the bottom here. In fact, looks like it's pretty much soaked up there now, which is good. Yeah, so yeah, I'm better off trying to leave this off, in fairness. Yeah, and try and clean this out. There's another oil pressure sensor here, so it must have two. But that one doesn't look very good. Right, I'm going to take that oil sensor off, oil pressure sensor, and that one. Get two new ones. I need to find out where the cable is for that one, because that's the cable for that, but there doesn't seem to appear to be one for that, so I'll have to try and locate that as well. I'm just going to plug these diesel fuel lines now. I'm going to spray this with the gunk remover and give it a bit of a clean. I'm going to have a better idea what I'm looking at, and then I can put the fuel filter on, which I've now cleaned, renewed the O-rings in the bottom, which was knackered, and hopefully that'll prevent that leaking again, and then I can fire it back up. Who knows, problem might be solved with just that. Dilly. Right, that's everything back together, so I'm just going to prime it now, see if I can get it started. Happy days. Now, one other thing I forgot to mention is when I had to get the sidecar out, I had to get the RV out. Two things. Firstly, it never stalled
or stuttered the engine. So I think, seriously, that O-ring on the bottom of that filter has sorted the problem. So I'm quite confident I'm driving this down to MOT on Monday. Now the other good thing, and the second point, is when I got the sidecar out and I took this for a spin, I brought it back in forwards to see if I could actually get it into my back garden, and I have. So that is happy days. It's hard to say because it's obviously dark now. I couldn't get it all the way forward because my bike and scooter's there, but you can see it's on the track that I made out the blocks. Perfect, exactly 2 meters wide. Drove on champion. So we'll go obviously a lot further forward once I move my bike. The lights will come on, but at least it's in the backyard. So I've got my car in, the sidecars at the back there. So that's great. As you can see, I've got my gates closed. So that is just fantastic. I had loads of room, absolutely loads of room to get this on. So it was great. As I say, it'll move right up to the end. And the back end should come in line roughly with this path, which will give us me drive back. That gives us plenty of time over the winter, start cracking on with the interior, etc. Right, it's all good. Dilly dilly, guys. New air filter, old air filter. Obviously hadn't been serviced for a while, this like. Yeah. Wouldn't have been able to breathe at all, that. No wonder they left the cover off it. Right, we'll get this new one in. Hopefully we can settle the box up so it doesn't get any crap in the engine. Dilly dilly.